Hi, this is my post for part one. For my interesting location, I will tell you that I'm at Lake Erie. I'm not sure how well you can tell, but that is Lake Erie out there. Um, so remember to post your interesting location if you're in an interesting location. Or even a semi-interesting location. So my takeaways for part one included, first, that the goal of all courses is self-efficacy and attitude and teaching how to learn, including how to learn beyond when they're in the course. And all the courses have that in common. Found that very interesting. Seemed like us teaching professionalism. I also found interesting that the initial structure and goals and content should be organized according to the critical thinking levels. And that would be something that we would do in preparing the course and preliminary to the mapping from objective to assessment that we normally do. And I liked that chart that showed critical thinking, and I can use that. And then I also liked the point that we can connect with students, but we also need to give them an opportunity to connect with us. And early on, and I made a note to do this with intentionality so that our interest in them and in getting to know them is clear. So I did write down a few possible course and assignment revisions. In chapter one, they mention an icebreaker. This gave me an idea to expand my current icebreaker to include an introductory essay. I have an introductory essay, but to include the instruction that they write long enough until they come up with something new that they hadn't thought of before. And I thought this will allow me to incorporate reflection right away, which is an important piece in that developmental course. And after a while, I thought, man, that's so good that maybe I should add that to all my courses, or at least as an extra credit or something. But just to include the reflection piece with the introductory essay. Chapter 2 mentioned a graphic syllabus. I've been working a lot on graphic organizers this last semester in cranial contentment, and I have the idea to add graphic organizers to all my courses, and like to make almost all the content in a graphic organizer, and it's a thing that the students fill in. So I use it to teach, but then I use it also for the students to fill in and plan their papers. Following the steps in the organizer, for example. This idea about the graphic syllabus gave me the thought to add graphic organizers to the syllabus, same kind of thing, where the students maybe would fill in a chart, perhaps of the major pieces of the course and how they relate to each other, something like that. And they could do that as a team effort too during the syllabus discussion. Chapter 2 also mentioned listing on the syllabus how homework time is spent. I know I can use that idea because I have the problem, and I think many comp teachers do, that because we teach in a computer room and because the students do get some work time in class, they get the idea that they can do everything in class and that they don't need to worry about homework and that they'll just do it all in class, and that's their time-saving method. But that, of course, does not work. Now, I thought if I list the homework separately on the syllabus, that would give more authority to that idea. This is this week's homework. Besides just mentioning it in class, it just seemed like a good idea. Chapter 3 mentioned assessing prior knowledge. And I thought to add, maybe on the second or third day, a graphic organizer of terminology, all the terminology in the course. And they could work on the graphic organizer as a team or individually, probably as a team, and then have them maybe write a paragraph about, for each student, write a paragraph about what that individual student thinks he or she knows best and what they think that they know. And then also write another paragraph on what they think that they don't understand at all, either explaining what they do know or why they're confused or what they would guess. And I think by reading paragraphs like that, I would get a good handle on prior knowledge. Also, I could have them right away practice a substantive reply post, which I could attach as a separate lesson right up front to this. And I need to maybe do a little more on that, or I could. So I could include it right here as a early activity. And then the last possible revision that I wrote down had to do with student questions about instructors' teaching style. They made the point in Chapter 3 there that students want to know about the teaching style up front. And it gave me the thought that I could upload my teaching philosophy, which I don't have, and I could add it or attach it maybe to the page where I have just a bullet list called instructor information. And then maybe I would assign them to give me a similar bullet list, like to mimic my list. And that way I would get some info about them too. And I would make sure they had gone to that page and seen it and seen that the teaching philosophy is there. And in fact, maybe I would have them mimic my bullet list, which just lists like how long I've been teaching, why I like teaching English, and some of my professional specialties and my avocations. Maybe I'd have them do something similar, and then maybe for extra credit, they could write a learning philosophy, or, shorter than the teaching philosophy, but write something like that. Or maybe that would just be for the developmental students. But anyway, I got all those ideas, so I thought it was a great chapter, and we're off to a great start. Thanks.